Hey, welcome to Invest the Minority. It's been a bit. We know.
Yes.
I'm Auntie Carell.
I'm Auntie Dewan.
And I'm Auntie Jarrell. What it is.
And let's just cut to the chase because we've been gone for a couple of weeks. We are not going to use this as an opportunity to go back and hash through ancient history. So what we're going to talk about today is, spoiler alert, if you've been under a rock and you haven't seen last week's episode, we got 5 queens left. Oh, wait, no.
That's
5.
It. Fifth flow. Right, fifth flow.
Right, exactly. So we've got Susie Toot. We've got Corey King. I'm lying. No, we got
Even though they said, I am Corey King. That shit was funny.
Loki, that was super cute. So we got Susie Toot, we got Jewel Sparkles, we got Sam Star, and we've got Anya, and we have Lexi as our top 5. So, ladies, thinking about how the season has gone, thinking about our early predictions, how is this lining up? Do we feel like we got it right this season?
Yeah.
I would totally say we got it right off the bat. I will have to say though, the first person that went, y'all thought originally might be someone that make it to the end, but she ended up being the first girl to go. We could add that clip back up in there. Okay, we could add that clip back up in there. I was the only one that was like,
no, you're right. What was her name again?
Exactly.
Acacia forgot.
Yeah,
I know I'm kidding.
Damn.
No, it was Mona Lisa, and then there was
it was the Latin girl.
Yeah, they had the paint.
No,
the crazy kind of aesthetic.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Can't
remember her name. Anyways,
it's been that long.
Sorry, girl.
It's been that long.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be her, or at least I thought she was gonna get farther than she did. That one kind of broke my heart. She just needs some money. That's what she needs. She needs some money, and hopefully she get out there and get some coin. Yeah. But yeah, I did think she was gonna be in there. Yeah. But I didn't know Anya. I think I said Anya, Lexi, and early on I was really saying Lexi might win it. Now are we gonna say who we think we can win? Or are we saving that? We'll save it.
It's Anya.
It's gonna be Anya. If it's not Anya, I'm tearing this motherfucker down. I'm burning this whole show down if it ain't Anya.
Look.
I think Lexi was the front runner for most of the season. Well, in public opinion. Let me clarify. Right. In public opinion, not on wins, not on, but in public opinion, I think people were craving for another, kind of mother moment with her, another mother trans moment, like with, what's her name?
Won All Stars.
No,
Sasha Colby.
Thank you, Sasha Colby.
Oh, Sasha.
Yeah, I think they were wanting that out of her, but I think what happened towards the middle of the season is that we start to see a lot more of those insecurities and other things really kind of like taking its toll. And had that not happened, regardless of how she would have performed, I think that the impression of her would have been much more positive going into this stage of the competition. And even from Rue's perspective, because a lot of the critiques when she was landing in the bottom or whatever, she was talking about that. Bingo. And that is something that is an area of growth that I don't think will really bode well for being the winner of the season.
Especially to represent the TV show. That's what ultimately Rue's like, you ain't about to fuck up my money because you're having a bad day. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And it's not that she's incapable, but I just think that's what tipped the scales. Yeah. And I also feel like I was y'all know I was a Anya Nerve. First the Cleveland connection.
Right with the
out,
Cleveland,
baby.
yeah. Then the in out came out. You was like, I'm sold.
That's it. She going the whole way. It's up to her.
That's right.
It is up to her to fuck it up. She has this in the bag. And what I loved about her arc, her story in this, is that even though at this point she has the most wins out of all the queens, she is one of the highest decorated winning queens in the top 5% of all franchises. All franchises. So, but she's still not being perceived as the front runner. And that is so indicative of our people oftentimes just in society. So everybody's looking at Susie Toot, you know, as kind of like the person to beat. But like, here's Anya right here with like, you know, all the accolades and all the wins. And but Anya just gets it because I think she realized that the unlock is, she even said this, the competition was to get to middle of the season. At this point, we are supposed to be having fun. We're supposed to be letting go. And a lot of the other queens, including Susie Toot, don't have that lesson learned yet. They're still trying to compete. And so they're so worried about the other person instead of just doing. And that's
at the end of the day, it's drag. And that's what Anya realizes. She's like, we're doing drag. And it's so palpable. Like the joy of just doing drag and, like you said, having fun with it.
Yeah.
The other queens have kind of lost.
Yeah.
And Rue, especially, and I feel like this season, Rue has really pushed on the drag part more so than a lot of seasons of recent. That I feel like almost, and I said this during the last episode, I was like, I feel like a lot of queens almost thought this is now, even though drag is also this, has almost turned into more of like, I want to be the fashion queen. I want to be this. And not, I want to be a drag queen. And Anya is the one of the season that is like all aspects of the umbrella of drag. I don't want to just be the umbrella of just, I want to be the fashion queen. I want to be the look queen. I want to be the funny queen.
Right.
Anya gets that. No, at the end of the day, we drag queens. Let's have some fucking fun. Let's ruffle some feathers. Right. Let's be maybe a little, you know, maybe not as good as I should be, but I'll get there and figure that shit out kind of thing. And that's what, I agree with you, Dewan. She gets it. She just gets it.
But you can clearly tell that she came in with a game plan.
Oh, yeah.
Every episode I watch her, and I'm like, you can clearly thought this out. There was an intention behind it. Even her weaknesses of not being able to sew and make a garment, right? She still knew how to distract from that, even with the personality, right? And making sure to present Rue well, laugh, and to still like, look over there, you know, like. She has played such a very smart game. Yeah. And I also like, because she says this in her confessionals too, she's like, I don't want these girls to think that I'm being like a Susie and like, well, I got all these wins, She's like still playing it down. Like, we'll talk about the preview in a little bit, but she said something in the preview for next week's episode that I was just like,
she gets
just up here. She thinking.
Yep. Stank breath and all.
Ariette ain't shit for that.
Ariette ain't shit. We ain't talking about that, but Ariette ain't shit.
And by the way, out of all the queens, she is the only one that has lost followers. And now immediately after no, Ariette.
Oh.
Ariette, because of what she said, you know, and like that was just such a
foul.
She's gonna learn from this. And we've seen, I don't know, I mean, I watch like, you know, a lot of the Roscoes where they bring the queens in and they talk about drag racing, and they've had Anya and Ariette sitting together on it. So clearly the beef or whatever has been, you know, I'm sure she's apologized and whatnot. I don't really follow Ariette, you know, I do follow Anya, but that hasn't been a topic. But that was some very short-sighted thinking. Regardless of however she felt, like, you don't want to leave on a sour note because, bitch, you may not be invited back.
And you fucked up your bag. Fuck being even invited back. Now people don't want to work with you. That whole episode and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Rubbed me so the fucking wrong way.
It was so childish. It was so childish. Like, you can't get your way, so what you're going to do, you're going to throw a fucking temper tantrum for no goddamn reason.
Against multiple people, by the way.
Yeah.
Because she stole jokes from Jules.
Oh, my God. That's all. Shit.
Stole jokes from Jules. Right. She got pissed off. She got pissed off at Susie Toot. Then she got pissed off at both Sam and Anya in the workroom. Like, girl, just, and then gonna leave that, like, what did Anya do to you? Tell you about yourself and was correct? So,
have you, I'm trying to think, out of all the seasons, have we seen a queen self-implode this drastically? I can't remember one that has literally shot themselves in the foot as bad as Ariette this season.
what's her face that picked up that one girl and tried to spin her around.
I tried to push her on the stage.
That I forget what her name is, but that was like early season 1, 2, or 3. I can't remember. She done fucked up her bag real bad with that move. And there might have been a couple of other queens that have like said or did some things that were pretty fucked up
to this extent
on screen. I know the first winner of the first seasons of Drag Race, she kind of like was a bitch on set or whatever to everybody else, and then like went off the rails, and she's not part of the Ru family anymore or whatever. But I can't think of anybody else that ended like this. Between. And there's a difference between being a villain. Let's be clear. There is a difference between being a villain, and being like mean spirit or whatever, and being a brat. And I think that's that distinction is what turns it off. When you look at people like, God damn, I wanted to say pork chop, but that's not it. The one that, damn, my brain is shit when it comes to names. The ones that were the villain's roast, right? You've got Plain Jane,
like Candy Muse.
Candy Muse is the one I was trying to think of, or whatever. Like Candy Muse rubbed me a wrong way with her season, but
she wasn't like being a brat. That was just her personality.
Right.
Yeah, So okay, I had to get that off my chest. Fuck you, Ariadne, because that shit rubbed me the wrong.
And by the way, just to circle back, Lucky Stars.
Lucky Stars.
Yes, I knew it started with the L.
Lucky Stars.
Sorry, Lucky.
You. Yes, girl. This was not due to your performance that we forgot the name. It's just girl.
It kind of was though.
Well, for me, I don't remember names. So but I thought she was going to go far. I was rooting for her, and I hope to see her in another.
I think we will.
Like return or something like that soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So any other highlight comments around like the top 5? What do you think in terms of, okay, so if we think that Anya is the front runner, who do we think is out of the others are like her biggest competition that she will have to lip sync for the crown against?
I think it's going to come down to Anya and Lexi. I struggle if I think it's going to be Toot. Jules has kind of come on later in the season to be a little more consistent. So like Toot, Jules, and Sam, I struggle. I think Sam might be the next one gone.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because I don't think she's learning enough, just like to switch it up enough, and it just might.
It's a little late in the game. It's just late in the game.
Too young and painter. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to come down to Toot and Jules. They might give it to Toot. They might put Toot as number 3. Yeah. I don't know if I care one way or the other. I think the top 2 is going to be Lexi and Anya.
I want to know what song they're going. I want to know what song they're going to lip sync to.
That's what's going to come down to.
I would love to see, because I would have loved to have seen Anya and Lexi do that Doechii song that Lexi did with who is she?
I forget.
She went against somebody.
Alter Ego, the Alter Ego song.
Yeah, Alter Ego. Yeah. Or was it?
Ego.
Yeah, it was Alter Ego.
It was Alter Ego.
Yeah.
I forget who she lip sync against, but it don't matter. It wasn't Lucky, was it? It wasn't. I forget who.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Lucky. It was somebody. Was it Crystal? Crystal Envy?
Oh, Crystal Envy. I forgot about her in this season.
No. Lana sent her home. At any rate, that would have been like that. A Doechii song would be dope for them those two specifically, because I think that it's within their wheelhouse. Like if they do some fucked up shit, like
could be
like if they do some fucked up shit like
it sounds
Rihanna
like they're doing a live version.
Like if they do some fucked up shit like Rihanna from Stevie Nicks, or like something real like like jacked up like some Celine Dion bullshit, like that would be terrible. And they've already had big songs on there.
Because like I feel like I saw online that they were doing tickets to the live recording of the finale.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means they're doing it in studio or if they're going back to the days of doing it in a theater again, which I kind of miss. But that means they could give like a Doechii song because Doechii's hot right now, so they still have the opportunity to maybe do Nissan or Nissan Altima or something like that. I don't know, but who do you think is going to be the top 3?
I think for me, I would be devastated if it's not Anya. Like, absolutely, I'll be devastated if Anya don't make it. I can see Susie too being up there. And I think that's just because I see her as another person who has a little bit of a strategy. Yeah. I don't think she has as detailed of a strategy as Anya does, but from the moment she's gotten there, her storyline and the strategy has been consistently the same. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be accounted for when I think of the top three. Because Lexi's been up and down here, Jules Sparkle's been up and down here, and so has Sam Star been up and down here. Yeah. Right? So those are my two. I agree. I think Sam Star is going to be the next one to go. Mm-hmm. And I think, like we were just talking about, I think Lexi is going to sabotage herself. I think she won't be a top three. Now, I have it in my bones. Because she did this 2 seasons ago. I can see a top 4. Remember, they did top 4. That was the same season when Lux Noir was on there. And they did a top 4.
Yeah. I hope not.
You're right.
Oh, and they did a top 4. They did a top 4, and they broke it up into 2 episodes.
Right.
So I see there being a top 4, and I see it being Jules, Lexi, Anya, and Susie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the thing with Susie is that her approach to drag is, and Rue said this in her comments to her on the stage this past week, is that you're too earnest. Meaning you're playing this, you're not playing it like a drag queen. You're playing it like an actor. And that was a problem that she had with her in the Snatch Game. And if you really look at like how she has performed she's really leaned into her acting, her theater background, in delivering an earnest, honest, true to form, authentic representation of that thing. Just like when they did the interpretive dance, it's like, okay, she was doing an interpretive dance, but it was just like, it wasn't entertaining. Yeah. Like you need to, when are you having fun? And I feel like the charisma piece is where she is missing. And I feel like Rue clocked that. So I can't imagine unless something dramatic happens, which it could. Yeah. But unless something dramatic happens, I don't see that perspective changing, because I think that Rue would always look at her as, you're going to be that serious girl, and drag is not serious.
And here's the thing: I think why I think Anya's going to win is there's still room for growth with Anya. Yeah. Anya's not the look queen. Like, once you get some money and some designers and things to really figure that aesthetic out, bitch, she's going to be unstoppable, because she has everything else. And the looks are fine. They're fine enough. Mm-hmm. But once she even gets that piece down, it's insane. And so it's going to be hard for me to think someone's going to really come up and beat Anya at this point, because, like you said, Rue's been laughing with her the entire season.
The whole time.
Is the biggest thing. If Rue enjoy you good. That's 90% of the battle of this damn show. Yeah. As long as you don't fuck yourself up, you gonna be in the top 3 at least. So and she's just done so well, and we haven't seen a queen win 4. Well, maybe since Jinx, I guess All Stars, but
All-Stars.
on a regular season, I don't know the last time we've seen a queen win 4. Because did Sasha win 4? I don't know if Sasha.
No, Sasha didn't win.
No, she won 3. I think was it Violet Chachki?
So it's been a good almost 10 years.
I think Bob, the drag queen, won 4.
And that was season 8.
What's the one that doesn't really do lip syncs? That's a comedian. She's she lives in Palm Springs. No.
But
Bianca Del Rio. Yeah. I think she also won.
And that's like
4.
season 7 or 6.
Right.
So it's been a good decade.
Yeah. There's been some queens in some of the other franchises that have won a lot. Right. But in the US, it's not a lot. So she's upper echelon.
So if that ain't a good enough track record to win the damn show, I don't know what is then.
Yeah. I would be hard pressed to see her win another. I would be hard pressed, but ecstatic to see her, Anya, win another challenge before the season finale, because that's going into the season finale with 5 wins. She currently has 4, and she's the leader out of all of them, because the closest is Susie, and she has
2.
Does she have 3? She has 2.
Oh,
She has 2. She has 2.
She has
Anya
2.
was the only
Yes,
one that
so
had
2.
3. Anya was the only one that had 3, and the only
Susie
one
with 2 and Lexi with 2.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
okay. So
I was a quick shout out though. Lexi's dress, even though it's supposed to be ugly, that shit was fire. I will say that dress was fire.
It was cute.
It was
I
very
was
cute.
like, that is very cute. So anyway,
Okay, so at the end of the episode, we now know that we've got this top 5, and the episode, and there's a little bit of shade after Ariadne left, and well, that was at the beginning of the episode, but then we also get to see a preview for next week. So
which I haven't seen. Like my DVR cut off, so I'm interested in what y'all about to say about this preview.
It made me emotional. Like I actually cried watching it. We can share.
it's the one challenge that they have. It's the one
it.
challenge that they haven't done yet this season.
Yeah.
They always do the
Let's
don't
see if
they
she
always
can
do
guess
something?
it.
Let me think for a second.
What have they not done this season?
Well,
yet?
because they always do like the talking with like Rue and Michelle with the
but
Tic
that's
Tac
not a challenge.
That's normally the final. That's normally the finale.
Don't they do another like singing
A
challenge?
rusical? Yeah, but they've done
Not a
it.
musical, but like let me think. 'cause
Like
I
a
think
music
they
video.
always do-
You know, like the music video
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
usually the top 4.
So that's top 4. Damn, what haven't they done? Let me think.
They've done the talk show.
that got you emotional.
Yeah.
We'll just
I
put
was
that to
tearing
the
up.
side for right now. But what challenge have they not done yet? They've done
But I don't
acting
know if they-
challenges. They've done.
But I don't know that they've always done this though. That's the thing. I like because the last season they didn't. Last season they did not.
Let's see.
Because the ones that I always think is like when they talk to their younger self, but that's still probably maybe like the finale or the top 4.
We'll
I don't know
spill the
what they're
tea.
doing.
Yeah, it's a makeover challenge.
But it's a makeover. Yeah. But
like a
here's-
twin challenge and things like that. Yeah.
Yes, but it's with their
Okay.
parents. It's with their parents.
Oh.
Yes. So like you see Anya's dad come through.
Yeah.
You see like Jules' dad come through and be like, "Hey, queen!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and you see their moms come in. Like, so it's the makeover challenge, and they're
okay.
making over their parents.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
But the table stakes are high because the last
God.
thing that you want to do is go home making over your own parent.
Your parent.
Oh, that's gonna be
Like,
tough.
Dad,
but I
you
think that's
fucked
gonna
that
be.
up, Dad.
But what's cool is that, by the way, they did do a makeover challenge last season because
They
Plain
did,
Jane did.
yes.
So they did do one.
It was the
Some
dancers.
kind of like
It was the
twins
dancers.
and things like- Yeah.
Yep.
But what's cool about this is that usually when they bring people in, there's almost always one person that is kind of resistant to kind of
Yeah.
like the full experience, and then you've got a queen that the struggle is how do I get them to do this or whatever. You got the sense, and they only showed like the entries of these folks into the workroom and introducing like, oh, your mother, your father, your mother, your father, your mother. They all seem to be just into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will
No,
see.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
We will see how this next episode shakes out, but this is going to be, I think, a highly emotional one. I am curious if they use this as an opportunity to talk to their young self while they have their parent there.
Right.
Ooh, could you
let me get my
imagine
tissue
the
ready.
waterworks?
Let me get my
Could you
facial
imagine?
tissue.
Baby. No, you gonna need a towel. Why you say
I'm
tissue?
gonna need this
Yeah.
towel. You're right.
Go ahead and get your towel.
Oh, dang.
Yes, but this is going to be a good. This is going to be a good episode. I think this is going to be the one. Hopefully, this is the one
I
that
will
gets to the
say-
Emmy for the season.
And I know we're getting long here. I will say I will self-correct myself from the very first and that's the Minority, because I was thinking that this season was not going to be good, and then I was like, I don't know about this season. This might be the one that I'm not going to be into. It's turned out to be way better than I thought it was going to be. So I will say that to these queens. Even though there was a lot of filler, I will stand by that. There was a lot of hoes that just weren't ready. But now that we're down to this final 5, just the arc to get here and some of the craziness, and even as bad as the Ariadne thing was, it was actually a very entertaining season so far. So I will give it these queens.
What was it that was the turning point for you to say, okay, I'm not just gonna not just gonna give this another try, but it's like, okay, I'm in it. What was it for you?
The willingness to just be shady. I felt like some of the seasons of late have just been too glossy.
Yep.
And these queens felt like they came in saying, I'm going to say what I need to say.
Yeah.
Even if that's maybe them pushing it for TV a little bit. But wait, say that last part again.
It was too much PR. It was like
exactly.
It was the marketing.
They knew they were on TV.
Right.
And like,
I love you, sister. We're just sisters.
Like they want the bag, so I 1000% get it. But this season was back. It felt a little more of like maybe not the early seasons, but like the season 9s and 10s, 11s.
Yeah.
Then more so than maybe like the 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
16 was starting to maybe shift back a little bit back with the Plain Jane. But this season, there seemed to be more people willing to be a little shady, willing to be all in, that I didn't foresee, especially because these queens are so young, and maybe that was to the advantage, maybe. But it ended up being way more entertaining than I thought. So I will self-correct myself.
Well, community, we thank you for riding along this journey. We're excited to see this top 5. Let us know in the comments. Are these the top folks that you wanted to see in this season based on all the things? Did they get it right? And quite frankly, who do you think is going to take home the crown? We'd really like to know what your thoughts are on that.
And what should we do for the finale? How should we do this episode for the finale? Because the one year we tried to do it, they took that shit down.
Yeah.
We tried to watch an episode, and they took that shit down. So how can we get the community involved in?
Yeah, we'll have to think about that.
Finale. Yeah, we gotta figure that out. So,
yeah.
But cool. But anyway, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.